almost everything imaginable is wrong with the finance industry today. And almost as much as is wrong is in the way we're seeking to address the problems. I don't really need to tell you what is wrong with finance, except to say the finance sector, which is merely a utility, converting savings into investment, is the largest, most highly paid industry in the world. It's unstable. It extracts vast rents in many tiers of rent seekers. And it's prone to, the worst thing is that it's prone to collapse. And if a large industry collapses, it has large ramifications, which we're still seeing the clear-up going on, attempted clear-up going on from the collapse of 08 and 07, 08. The problem starts really with our understanding of how finance works. And for that, I blame the academic theory that markets are efficient. You can't use a theory of efficient markets to address market problems when the problems are to do with inefficiency. It's bizarre. Efficiency is the special and limiting case. It doesn't address the general case. So how to address the problem? Well, really, you need a better theory of how finance works. And that's what, over the last 5 or 6 years at the LSE, my colleagues and I have been doing, with one simple tweak to the standard paradigm. The standard paradigm of efficient markets assumes that individuals invest directly in markets. It doesn't countenance, in capital market theory, it doesn't countenance the role of intermediaries. But we are all the asset owners. We in this room and the men and women in the street are the asset owners. And we delegate responsibility, first of all, to pension funds. Pension funds then delegate to fund managers, who then trade through brokers. Investment banks get a look in the issuance of securities. Actuaries, everybody on the drip from our money. And what we have done in our theory is simply to recognize that there is delegation to agents, so that the owners of the assets delegate to agents. We, the principals, delegate to the pension funds and so forth. Pension funds are agents. They purport to be the asset owners. They're not. They're proxies for us. And so there is a principal-agent problem, which gives rise to asymmetric information. The agents at every level have better information. That's why they're hired. They have different objectives. And the principal doesn't know if the agent is competent or diligent. He's got to discover that. Finance is unlike any other product. You don't know if it's any good almost until it's too late. It's not like a washing machine going wrong. You take it back to John Lewis. And so what we're doing is building the principal-agent problems of finance into our asset pricing theory to offer a general theory of asset pricing. And what we find is, a very important point here is that we're not using behavioral beliefs as the source of the irrationality. What we're saying is that you can actually have a rational, all the participants in markets can be acting rationally, and because of the principal-agent problem, the outcome can be and will be irrational. So what we find is that with a rational theory, we're able to explain most of the issues that have either not been addressed or not been explained in standard theory. We also find that the principal-agent problems, the two major negatives that it delivers is one, asset mispricing, bubbles and crashes and so forth, and two, rent extraction. The rent extraction is nasty, but actually if you deal with the asset mispricing, you can, the rent capture simply atrophies. Now, the policy implications spill out of what we're doing. It's a rational theory, and it's no good us going to all the pension funds saying, what you're doing, you could actually be doing better, both for your own interest, your own private interest, and for the social interest. Pension funds, sadly, act in herds. I don't actually blame them. They're also following the theory of efficient markets. They're, all the way they contract with the agents is predicated on the efficiency of markets. So everything is diametrically wrong. There was a huge development only 2 months ago on which I really hope we see the problem being addressed correctly, which is that the G30, the think tank, the high-powered think tank in the States, came out with a proposal for a code of best practice for asset holders. And that code of best practice, they called for a code of best practice to show the strategies that need to be adopted by principals to ensure they minimize the principal agent problem. And I think the IMF will be the agent in developing that, be the supranational body to enforce that code of best practice. Thank you.